Establishment Democrat extraordinaire Rahm Emanuel spoke to the Chicago Tribune and laid out his vision for what the Democrats should do going forward.
2016 now, Democrats are at the lowest level since 1928 in the House of Representatives and the lowest level since 1925 in the state houses. Not really good. Okay? I know you didn't pay me the big bucks to come here and tell you that, but I thought it is hard to imagine it getting lower. So there's a lot of different politics. One, you got to go out and create a farm team. You know, in 06 and 08, everybody goes, oh, that's when we took back the House. You know, I got a lot of crap for recruiting Iraq and war vets, football players, sheriffs, business people. I said, well, they're running in Republican districts. I wanted to take cultural issues off the table and wanted to present economic issues. We recruited people who matched the district. If you're running in a Republican district, you got to get at somebody who can win in a Republican district. Winning's everything. You don't win, you can't make the public policy. I say that because it is hard for people in our party to accept that principle. Sometimes you just got to win, okay? Stop arguing about Democrats love doing a firing squad in the circle. Stop it. Okay? Don't attack. They're too moderate. Forget about it.
I've never seen an analysis more wrong than that. So let's go through it here. He basically said, look, Dems are at the lowest point since like the 1920s, and they're absolutely obliterated. That's right, Rahm. You want to know why? Because of your philosophy, which has been implemented and has been stuck to. So Rahm Emanuel was in the Obama administration. Obviously, he left at a certain point and he went back to Chicago. But your ideology lingered. The neoliberal, new Democrat, centrist, pro-corporate, pro-establishment variety, the moderate variety, as you would call it. And the results are the very thing that you're bemoaning. The results of what you did are the lowest Democratic numbers since the 1920s. Republicans hold a majority of state legislatures, majority of governorships, the majority in the House of Representatives, the majority in the Senate, and obviously the presidency. And he's up there like, gosh, these fucking rabid progressives who've been in control all along, isn't it their fault? So, then he says, you got to get somebody who can win in a Republican district. People got mad at me because I was recruiting. He used all the, football players and farmers. And no. That's all code word for I was recruiting moderates to run in GOP districts. And when people got mad at me, I said, what do you mean? They got to be able to win in a GOP district. But see, that's the thing, Rahm. You're wrong because you don't actually believe in liberal and progressive values. You said it right there. Oh, I'm winning. I believe in winning. But your philosophy on how to win is wrong. And it's wrong because you don't actually believe in liberal and progressive values. So let me give you a fact that many people don't know. Bernie Sanders, when we're talking about many of the states like Kentucky, for example, during the primary, did you know Bernie Sanders overwhelmingly won people who described themselves as more conservative? So you're thinking, wait, what? So in the Democratic primary, you had people who were voting who said, yeah, I'm a Democrat, but I'm really conservative. But they went overwhelmingly for Bernie Sanders? Because here's the reality. It ain't about labels. I'm conservative, I'm liberal, I'm Republican, I'm Democrat, I'm this, I'm that. None of that matters to people, and they don't even know what they really mean, those labels. So you have somebody who says, I'm conservative, and then you go through the checklist. Do you think we should have a Medicare for all system? Well, yeah, Medicare's great. My grandma used it and she loved it. My mama's on it right now. Do you believe we should raise the minimum wage to a living wage? Well, of course. I know my buddy making $7.25. He can't afford to put food on the table. What you talking about? You go through the list and many Republicans have social democratic tendencies. This is what Rahm Emanuel doesn't know or he doesn't care about. Because he himself does not agree with those people. So when he says, well, you're running in a GOP district, so you got to run somebody who's conservative. Except we tried that, and those people got fucking obliterated. Look at what happened with Allison Lundergan Grimes. This is Rahm Emanuel's perfect candidate. Well, what do you mean? She's like a cleaned up Mitch McConnell. She's Republican light, And she's a young, good-looking female running against old turtle boy Mitch McConnell, who's a hardcore Republican. Well, guess what? Allison Lundergan Grimes was such a centrist/corporatist/moderate and such a Republican-light kind of character. She did ads shooting guns. I'm Kentucky through and through. She was asked in a press conference, did you vote for Obama? She wouldn't even say she voted for Obama, and she's running as a fucking Democrat. Guess what? Mitch McConnell beat her, even though Mitch McConnell had historic unfavorables in Kentucky, and he was super vulnerable. Why? Because we ran your kind of Democrat. We ran the moderates, we ran the Republican lights, and they got their ass handed to them. You act like we haven't tried your philosophy. We've tried it, and that's what led to the wipeout. Furthermore, winning is everything. Actually, it's not, because if you win and then you have Republican-light characters in there, they're going to push for Republican-light policies. So that's not a win for progressives. That's not a win for liberals. That's a win for Republican-light. That's a win for the corporations and the establishment. But that's the thing, that's all he really cares about. Rahm Emanuel isn't a true progressive. He's not a true liberal. He doesn't care about the issues. He loves the establishment. So when he says, winning is all that matters. But if you win and then, for example, you have a supermajority and you get a shitty right-wing reform like Obamacare, we're not happy because you had a supermajority and you could have gotten single payer. But you didn't. So when do we ever get liberal policies? When do we ever get progressive policies? You get a Republican in there, boom, they push for ultra-conservative policies. You get a Democrat in there, they push for centrist policies, center-right policies. So when do you get liberal policies? Never. 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 Because of guys like Rahm Emanuel who've decimated the party. The last point is he brought up moderate. Like, you got to stop with this purity test. Well, you're moderate. Too moderate. No, but see, if we actually use that philosophy and use that ideology, that we are liberals who believe in liberalism, we're progressives who believe in progressivism, we're actually principled. We take no corporate money. We take no big donor money. We fight for the issues. And by the way, the polls show the American people are on our side. Then we can't lose. So what you're saying, the exact opposite is true. This idea of like, what do you mean? You just got to accept all the moderates and that'll work. No, but we already did. And that's why we're at this shitty place now. So we need Democrats who are actually going to represent what the Democrats are supposed to represent, and that's how we win. So Justice Democrats is the answer. And guys like Rahm Emanuel are enemies of Justice Democrats because he thinks we're the problem. But remember, it hasn't been us in control of the Democratic Party all this time. It's been him. And now we're at the low point. When we get in there, we will bring us to a high point, and that I can guarantee you.